We're going to take a look at the Bell's Brewery Vanilla Black Note Stout. Give that a second for it to come in here. And this is the 2019 edition of Vanilla Stout aged in bourbon barrels. So Bell's Brewery is out of Michigan, Comstock, Michigan. And this one comes in at 11.3% ABV. On the bottle, it gives you the shelf life details on the back, which also tells you that that is also unlimited. So this one you can put in a cellar like I did for a period of time. And I'm going to go ahead and drink it now. So this was packaged last November. So not fully a year out, but 10 months. And outside of that, on the bottle label, it makes a statement here. A malty harmony of dark chocolate, espresso, and dried fruit notes, aged in freshly retired oak bourbon barrels, aimed squarely at stout aficionados. I don't know why I said what I said the first time. Aimed squarely at stout there. Black Note makes a grand statement about the art of the dark. The version is aged with Madagascar vanilla beans for a sweeter, creamier twist. So yeah, so that's what we're looking at here. And what is going on, Dale's Tales? Nice to see you, my friend. Going to get this baby cracked open. And shout out to Blake and Alan over on the B&A show. They're doing a great show there earlier. Blake TV, if you haven't checked out Blake TV, always check him out. It's always some great entertainment, some great conversation we were having. And I was like, I got to get off and do this beer review. So him and Alan, the Eclectic Beard, another great channel to also check out. So those guys got it rocking over there. And we've got this baby poured into the glass. Let it sit out for a bit of time so I can get everything opened up. You can take a look at it. Nice, presentable, dark color stout with a nice tan head on it. Nice head that's really bringing out some of the aromas. Hey, what is going on, Dank Noodle News? Cheers to you, my friend. Ooh, nice aroma. Nice sweetness coming from the malts. You really pick up the vanilla. You pick up that oak aging from the barrels. Nice feel of chocolate. Espresso does come out on the nose. I'm going to tell you, if you never had anything from Bell's Brewery out of Michigan and you're a beer drinker, definitely check them out. They put up some very good beers. I'm always appreciative to check out what Larry Bell and his people are doing. Rarely am I ever disappointed by them. You get a little bit of smells like a little bit of a lactose type base in there. And that's also the vanilla. But yeah, I'm digging it on the nose. Taste wise. That baby is smooth as can be. Wow. Chocolate, you get that in the throat area. You get a nice complex layering of the flavor. You pick up that espresso bean feel. Get a nice touch of the vanilla. A little bit of the woodiness in there from the barrel aging. Sits nicely in the cheek area. Really soaking in the flavor. The more you soak in the cheeks, the more you're pulling the flavor out of this one. This is a damn good beer. And what I didn't say is not much booziness. So again, this one, ABV 11.3%. You're not getting a lot of the alcohol in the taste, hardly any. You do feel the warmth though in the chest. So I do feel some of that heat in there as well. Shout out to Erie in the house. What is going on, number one fan? And to Sparkles, cheers, Michelle. Good to see you as well. You get a nice velvety feel in the mouth of the beer. Carbonation is pretty subdued. It's just like a smooth dessert type beer here. Kind of a, it's definitely one of the ones you would put kind of maybe in that pastry stout category. The nice dessert feel. A lot of times you'll see me talk about some of the stouts and pair them up with cigars. This is actually one I would love to put with something like a decadent chocolate dessert, some type of chocolate cake or something where I can have the flavors work together. This would be a great one as you finish off a nice meal You can have this as your dessert, or you can have it with the dessert. If I was going to put it with something like a main course, a nice grilled steak, I could actually enjoy with this as well. I am digging this beer. What is going on, Moose Gal? Cheers. Good to see you again, my friend. But that mouth presence, the flavors, the way they open up in the mouth, I'm getting it on the roof of the mouth at this point. Just a great feel all around of this beer. Duration of it is very nice. The flavors are definitely lasting long. For it to be a higher ABV beer, for me, I feel it's more to a medium to full body. It doesn't feel that heavy to me. It just feels very nice. I feel like I could drink this in different types of weather. Although on a very hot day, I wouldn't, drink this one. I'd probably have something a little bit more refreshing. But right now, it's hitting in all the spots it needs to hit on. I'm getting nice vanilla now on the lips as well. So much is taking place. Oh man, so today was actually my day off, one of my last days off. I'm off tomorrow as well, and decided why not do a video midday, and so that's why I jumped on. I would have been here a little earlier, but again, great conversation over on Blake TV with the B&A show, and so much going on that it was like, I gotta get off and do the beer review, as I said earlier, so I'm glad to actually jump over and do this now. Now I'm getting, as I'm talking, a little bit more of a caramelly type feel coming in as well. Sparkle says, I'm chilling, watching your live stream from my phone. I'm off today, tomorrow, and Thursday and Saturday from work. Nice. Way to work that out. So you basically are off the whole week, so good for you. Yeah, I'm off today, tomorrow, and then back to the grind. I can't imagine how many emails I'm going to have when I get back to the office. Let's see, last time I took off time, I came back and I think I had like 280 some emails that people were trying to get in touch with me. So we'll see. Hopefully it's not that bad because I was off a little bit more days that time. But for me to come back in after vacation and have 100 something emails would just be how it usually happens. So I wouldn't be surprised. Some people just want to talk to you. They want to talk to just me. They want to just talk to the person they were wanting to get a hold of, which I can understand, to make sure they get the right information they need. So, but at the same point, you get penalized almost when you go on vacation. It's like you have so much other stuff to catch up on. But away from that, I would definitely say check out this beer if you are a Stout fan. I can't remember what I paid for this one because I picked it up such a long time ago. I know it was the last one they had on the shelf. Let me get it there, that way the light will focus in on it. It was the last one they had on the shelf, and I'm thinking somewhere between the 4-something to 5-something range, but definitely worth it. Definitely a nice tasting brew, and one that you can really sit back and enjoy. So I'll post this up on Untappd for my score. And a little bit more description, so any of you guys that follow me on Untappd, you can connect with me there as well. But I am thinking with this one, it's at least a 4.25 for me here. I'm going to say 4.5. This is going to actually be a 4.5 out of 5 for me that I will actually place on Untappd. Really a top-notch brew. And anybody that's a Stout fan would definitely love this one. So that is my look at the Vanilla Black Note Stout from Bell's Brewery. And hopefully you guys enjoyed it. At this point, if anybody else wants to talk about anything, I'm here for a bit. We can definitely chat. If anything else is happening in your world, right now it is happy hour. It's always 5 o'clock somewhere, but it is just 5 o'clock here at this point too. So if you guys are enjoying anything right now, if you've had this beer, by the way, and you're watching this on the playback, or you're here now and you want to leave me a comment on it, let me know what you thought of it, or any of the Bell's beer, or any of the beers you actually like out there right now. Anything that you're kind of enjoying. Erie says she is closing down everything to go home. Very nice. Gotta love the end of the workday. I'm sure Alan will appreciate you when you're there. I heard the girls in the background when he was doing the video as well, so he probably needs you there, Erie, for sure. Is it a strong beer? The ABV on this one, Moose, is 11.3. So for many, I guess it would be a strong one, although for me, it doesn't feel very boozy. Now, that being said, as I drink this, and if I drink a few more things, it may all catch up to me, but I don't know. I feel like I've done so many different beers. You know, you do something, your tolerance starts to build. It doesn't feel as strong to me, so it's a decent one now. And Michelle said it's 2-1 where she's at. Yeah, because she is actually West Coast time out there in the West Coast, and hopefully staying safe out there, out in Arizona. And hopefully anybody that's watching out in California, hopefully you guys are doing okay. I know you guys have had those fires coming through. I saw the one story where apparently there was a gender reveal party and a couple may have started one of the fires. It's kind of crazy on that whole thing. I've never been to a gender reveal party, although I feel like I shouldn't have to go to a gender reveal party. I'm a guy. I don't know. Maybe that's a wrong thing to say, but I just don't know who goes to these gender reveal parties. But I know that starting fires out in the middle of California probably isn't the best thing to do, considering the history of California and fires. And if you're in Colorado, hopefully you're staying warm, because apparently you guys went from 90-something degrees down to the 30 level in a day, which is incredible to think of. But then again, it is 2020, right? So in 2020, expect anything to possibly happen that can happen. This should be like the Murphy's Law year. That's what we should just start calling it, the Murphy's Law year, because there's way too many things that are happening right now that just shouldn't be. And shout out to Blake TV, who's in the house. And again, I mentioned Blake earlier. Great conversations there on his channel. If you guys don't know Blake TV, make sure you check him out as well. Always entertaining, always a good time. They did the B&A show, him and the Eclectic Beard. Later this week, they'll do the Friday Night Throwdown over on Blake TV Friday night. That's at 9 o'clock Eastern. And then I think you guys may have the B&A part 2 of the week, which might be Thursday or Friday. So if you guys don't know Blake, check him out. And then I may not have, just so you guys are aware, this week it's looking like I may not have the Beer Flow show this Thursday night, because I do have to work late. So by the time I'm getting off and have to run around, it might just be too tough to pull that off that night. So right now it's up in the air, but that's usually Thursday at 9:15. And I'll put a thing on the community tab if I end up not doing it, so that you guys are aware there as well. And Blake said, very warm here in Colorado. Oh, yeah. See, we know you're not in Colorado now, Blake. And then Michelle saying hello to Blake as well. And Moose saying hello to Blake again. So yeah, Moose was also over there on Blake TV. Great stream, Blake. Great conversation. And that's the fun thing about, you know, when we have these conversations and stuff like that over on, you know, I say part of the crew that we're in, that we kind of do a lot of stuff, me and Blake and the Eclectic, and often like BDO, the Whiskey Scout, Jeremy Vincent, Jeremy V, and so many other guys that we hang out and do stuff. Some great conversations, and it's always fun. And nobody like casts anything on people. You know, people are able to express themselves and not feel threatened by it, which is something almost unheard of nowadays with some of the stuff that takes place. Moose Gal says, what type of beer is my fave? Well, my favorite types of beer, which I almost did one earlier today, are more like your Belgian ales. So I can go anywhere from the different styles out of Belgium. I like a big beer, so I like the quads, I like the triples or tripels, the doubles. But those type of beers I really enjoy. The feel that you get out of a lot of the stuff done there. Things like your Chimay, your Golden Drops, those are very good. After that, it gets into more stouts and then IPAs, I would think. I am becoming more and more a fan of some of the sour stuff that's taking place, which I've always enjoyed. Some of the sours. We have a great sour brewery here called Urban Artifact. They make some really good beers, so I'm always happy to check them out. But yeah, as far as favorite top style, that would definitely be the Belgian beers, and the ales they make out there, the quads, the doubles, the triples. Moose Gal says what's up to Sparkles, and then Sparkles says hello to Muse. And Blake says smash that thumbs up. And if anybody else is actually in happy hour now and sipping on something, let me know. I know Blake's got his water that he's drinking, right? So I don't think it's actually true H2O. I think he actually has something, maybe just a little something injected into it. But if you guys are drinking anything out there, like I said, you may be working today, you may have been off. If you're working, you're probably just maybe getting home, gonna unwind. But Moose, I'm trying to think now, do you drink beer as well, or do you not drink beer as much? I'm trying to think offhand from the conversations we've had, but if you do, what kind of things do you prefer? Sparkles said, have a nice day, night. I'm going back to cleaning day, organizing my room and stuff. Talk to you later. All right, Sparkles, thanks for swinging by, but I can't believe you're leaving me to go clean up. That's like, why didn't you say you're going to go wash your hair? I mean, that's just like, that doesn't happen. You know, you're choosing cleaning over hanging out with me. All right, I see how it is. Magic water, cheers, brother, right? I knew it was something magical about it. Magically delicious, too, I believe. If it's magically delicious, you better watch out. Let may have put something into it. Erie says, driving, but got you playing in the car. Nice. Well, I appreciate that, Erie. As Erie heads back to her home to catch up with the eclectic beard. And first day of school for the kids. So I'm sure they'll be excited to see you there as well. I like how Alan separated them earlier on Facebook, showing them in the different rooms and everything as they went to their different classes. So that was cool. Kind of interesting. How you guys doing out there if you have children, by the way, with the whole working from home or school from home, if you have that case? Some kids are in school, but some are at the houses. So has that like shifted any of your routine if you've had to deal with that? I can imagine where it shakes some things up. A couple of people I work with, they have kids, so it's kind of funny. They're sharing their office with their young ones now as they're working. The kids are right there working with them too. So, you know, an interesting thing that may come out of this whole working from home, you may get stronger bonding between parents and kids. Who knows? I mean, now that your kids are there with you and not in school, if you're both working from home, you have different chances to maybe have more of those conversations that are important to the kids. And I tell you what, those conversations may matter down the line. You know, as they're older, they'll remember those times and stuff when you were there working together. So definitely take advantage of the situation if it is there for you. But I am going to drink some other beers here in a bit after dinner. Trying to think if I'm going to do some more live or maybe a live stream. If people want to do something, maybe pull up StreamYard and get some people on here. I haven't done a live stream with just like a panel in a while on the channel, so that may be an option. I don't know what you got going on later, Blake, but if that's something you might want to do, let me know. And I'm going to just hang out tonight, probably do some stuff like that, have the basketball game in the background. I got to tell you, the NBA playoffs have been pretty good thus far. So I think tonight the Lakers play the Rockets again, and there's no guarantee that LeBron's going to get back to that championship. The Rockets team has been pretty tough, so I think it's 2-1 right now. And Boston, the way they're playing Milwaukee, I mean, Milwaukee got the win, but 3-1 in the series. I mean, Boston, I didn't expect them to take care of Milwaukee the way they've been doing, and Milwaukee's got a hell of an uphill battle, especially that they may not have the Greek Freak depending on how his injury pans out. So, but they were able to pull out a win without him. Okay, Blake, so you'll be around. Cheers. Okay, so I'll look maybe do something here after dinner or something. And if people want to jump on, I'll set that up on StreamYard for that one. Let me see here. Steven said, I remember the conversation I had with my and welcome, Steven, by the way, my friend. Tunis in the house. Remember a conversation I had with my grandfather once when I was 8. I screamed. He said you wouldn't have seen it if you didn't open the door without knocking. Good times. True. If you would have knocked, you would have known something else was going on. Remember, if the rooms are rocking, don't come knocking. Blake says, give me an hour or so, got to cook some supper. Yeah, same thing right now. The wife's actually making dinner, so I'd probably be looking at least probably around 7 or so, Blake. So 7 my time, 6 your time, so got a couple hours out there. Cheers, Tunis. Good to see you, bro. And Le Champion. Don't start calling him that, Tunis. You'll get into his head. Couldn't pay me to work from home right now. Well, considering Erie when we play Call of Duty and hearing the girls run around with you and Alan playing, I can see why you probably go to work rather than being home with the girls. But I tell you, I was social distancing before social distance was even a thing. So I do enjoy working from the house and kicking back and doing things here. And you save on gas, you're not commuting. You save on food, you're not eating out all the time. Whenever I go to the office, we're always going out to eat somewhere. So I'm not eating out. I'm saving money there. I get to work in t-shirt and shorts, basically. At least that's what I tell them. And it's just comfortable when you're in your own house. You don't have to go anywhere. The only thing is, I feel like you want it when you do get a day off, you want to go somewhere, but you really can't go as far as you want to go right now because of the whole COVID thing, right? So you're kind of limited in that regard. But yeah, I dig working from the house myself, and it's all worked out well. Still at the office today. Also, I'm still socially distancing. Yeah. Well, you know what? With it being a holiday, not surprised. And I know some people that took off the beginning of this week or the back end of the week, depending. So yeah. Moose guys, after the pandemic stops, do you think anything with the beer industry will change? Well, with that question there, I don't know if the pandemic, how it will stop, if it will stop. I mean, I'm sure it'll basically slow down, but I think there's some things that the pandemic has opened up for opportunities for some of the breweries, which I hope they get to keep, like being able to do home deliveries. A lot of states have approved it because of the pandemic, but if they get it to a level where they say we don't have to do it anymore, will they cut that off for breweries? I think people enjoy having to be able to get that done or doing a curbside type service. The only thing is you kind of displace some of the workers at that point, so some of the workers probably aren't earning what they were earning before, obviously, if people aren't going to some of the things. So it'll be interesting to see there. You have a shift maybe in some of the jobs that are available, but as far as the brewery itself, I think a lot of breweries, if they have enough traction, depending on where they're at, they can get through this, but you may end up losing some, people out of the whole situation. Depends how people respond to it. We have these things that happen however many years generationally or however it's computed that reshape the business landscape of a lot of things, right? So right now, movie theaters are struggling, but we're seeing the reemergence of drive-in theaters because you're socially distanced when you're in your own car. So you're going to have things that kind of drive things going forward. So it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. Tuna says, I'm currently designing a CNC for woodworking. Just need to set up a dedicated laptop and do a little programming, and I'm done. Nice. And then you can kick back and relax, right? Moose Gal said, not enough to do at work. Wish I could be paid to stay at home. Yeah, it's like I said, it's nice being at home. And I was already working at home before this stuff happened. I came back to a different position for sales, which is sales, so I can do that. It's just really working on the phone. But before I went back into the sales role, I was in a QA role, which basically is quality assurance. So basically, I listened to calls from sales reps and make sure they were saying the right stuff like that. And I was already working from home at that point. So none of this was a big shift to my workday, except I had to go in a little bit more frequently where I don't have to do that now, which is awesome as well. And I think more companies will look at people staying from home that have had to go through it. It all depends on what you're in. Google told their people don't even expect to come back until July of next year. My company, they're only coming back 20%, and I think that's going to begin like in the next few weeks, and that's only in our main home office. All the other offices are still mostly work from home. There's not an urge to get people back in. So depending on what companies are paying for employees, for some of them it could be cheaper to keep people at home. QT in the house. Cheers, QT. Also cheers to Tuna's there. And Tuna says it back. After the pandemic, Corona will go out of biz. LOL. I don't even know why, well, Corona is an easy beer that a lot of people tend to like. It's not a beer that I hate. It's just a beer I don't drink really. Now, if I was on a beach somewhere, I might drink a Corona. But I just don't usually drink Corona because there's other beers I prefer to that. But it is funny, all the stuff that came out around them, and with everything happening. Erie said work's just slow everywhere. Yeah, there's a lot of, I guess, that happening where work isn't as much as what it used to be. So it is what it is. It all depends on the environment, that you're in, the career you're in, depending on what you're doing. We've actually picked up a lot of business where we're at, but again, I work in the financial area, and there's been hot stuff happening out there with the markets and different things along those lines. So she said you should be getting paid to do beer reviews. They make them pay for the AA meetings. Well, if I don't got to go to AA meetings, so that'd be funny if there was an AA beer reviewer, right? Double dipping is exactly right, KT. Yeah, it's a shame. The people that are being affected by this for sure, Erie. Just tuned in, looked in Fruitful Beer Live. Are we drinking beer tonight? What is going on, Will? Cheers. Yes, actually, in the first, probably first 10 minutes of the video, I'd actually talked about this one here from Bell's Brewery. It is the Vanilla Black Note Stout from Bell's Brewery. This one comes in with an ABV of 11.3%. And now we're kind of just shooting the shit here a little bit. But a very nice beer from Bell's Brewery. Don't know if you get those, Will, or not, out of Michigan. But they do some great stuff. They got 20-something states I think they actually distribute to now. And then if you have, let me know what you think about it. And if you have any Bell's beers, let me know what you think. Or if you're looking for a good stout to try and you get them, I would definitely recommend that. Let me see. Erie says no hours. Yeah, well, getting cut there, right? Moose Cow says, but you drink at an early hour. LOL. Well, today I did because I'm off. So I was actually going to drink this. It's like 5:19 now, probably about 2 hours ago. But then we got into all the talking over on Blake's stream, which was a great stream. So we were in all the conversations, so I never got to open it up. Oh, Will says he's drinking a Danish double stout because I'm Danish. There you go. Nice. I like to drink some more Danish type beers. I'm trying to think. I think the only one I usually get for that's kind of, I think it's Danish, is Mikkeller. Maybe Danish, I believe. I think we get a lot of the Mikkeller beers, so I drink those. I'm always looking for more international type beers as well. Who makes the Danish double stout that you're drinking there, Will? I'll have to try to take a look for that one. This one here is very smooth. Again, not getting a lot of the alcohol, but I know it's hitting me. It's 11.3% ABV and very solid. Hey, Dad's Incredible's in the house. What is going on, Dad's? Cheers, my friend. Dad's Incredible Barbecue and Beer. If you don't know him, make sure you check him out. I need to catch up on some of your videos as well, but he has a great channel over there. Obviously, barbecue and beer are on the menu for what he's dishing up. But yeah, this is the last of it right now, Dad. And it was this one here. It was a 2019 edition. So if you watch the replay, if you want to see the review, the first 10 minutes, what I may do is actually go in and cut out the first 10 minutes and put it up separately as well for just the review itself before we got into the other conversation here. But it is a nice one from Bell's. Vanilla, bourbon, you get a little bit of oakiness in it. Nice chocolate feel, very smooth, a little bit of a caramel type touch to the beer, and just goes down real easy. It leaves behind like a nice vanilla sense on your lips. Leaves that nice feel of quality in the mouth. A great dessert beer. And that was it right there. Moose, yeah, it was a great conversation for sure. It was definitely a great one. Moose says she wants to try stouts. What should she look for? Well, depending on what your palate is usually suited for, can determine what kind of stout you want to actually get into. Now, stouts are the step up from a porter. Stouts are all porters for the most part, but there's different ones that are being done. There are ones that are kind of like your pastry stouts, kind of like this one, a little bit more sweeter, a little bit more of a bigger type feel. If you want to look at some of the base type ones you want to get into, there's such many varieties. Right now, peanut butter stouts are a big thing, so I've got a few of those I want to do. I almost did a peanut butter stout for this video, but I didn't bring it out, so maybe I'll have one of those later when we go live. But it all depends on what you're actually seeking out there. So what do you usually like? And then that can help determine what you're looking for there as well. But when you're going to a stout, you usually get a nice little chocolate feel, some coffee. Depending if you want to go with one of the bigger ones, like the bourbon barrel ones, you're going to get a little bit of an oakiness or a woody type feel, a little bit of a bourbon type feel. Just all depends on what you're looking at there. It's nice to mix up the different variety of different ones so you can kind of get guided down to what your appeal may be, which ones you actually prefer. Dad said, cool, thanks for the kind words. I never had the vanilla variant, but was lucky to try it regular a few years ago. Phenomenal. Yeah, this was the first time I saw the vanilla one. And as I mentioned before you got here, Dad, this was the last one on the shelf when I got that one. So I was fortunate myself to get this, and it was well worth it. That one definitely does deliver. So on Untapped, I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. Which I don't get a lot of beers to get up that level. In fact, I think on the 5 out of 5s, I've only given like maybe 8 the whole time I've had beers. Now, I've had thousands. Well, I say I'm almost at 2,000, I think, on Untapped, but I've had over that in beers. But using Untapped, I think I'm around 1,900 or something like that. And I might be actually at 2,000 by now. But I don't give out a lot of 5s. I mean, 5, you have to really be at that top level. But a 4 or 5 is a great beer in my book. McKellar, yeah, they are Danish. That's what I thought. I just want to make sure. Making a lot of beers around the world. The beer I'm drinking is called Limfjords Porter. It's a cult beer in Denmark. One of their first craft. Very nice in the country. Very nice. Yeah, I was thinking McKellar was, but I just wanted to make sure. Now, we get like McKellar, and then we get Evil Twin, which is the twin of the guy that runs McKellar, right? So, anytime I get their beers, Evil Twin or McKellar, I'm just pleased with both of them. They're both so solid. I'm hard to please. Yeah, right? So I just try to be truthful and honest in my opinion. And, you know, when you always have to look at how people rate things anyway, because if you don't know their ratings, they may not help you as much. But for me, it's all to my pleasure and to how I enjoy the beer. And so it takes a lot to be in that 5 level. I mean, you've got to be top of your game. You got to be, one of the best out there to hit that 5 level. It's got to be something solid. And there are a lot of beers I have, 4.5. There's a good amount 4.5, a good amount 4.75, but there's always that area. Scandinavia is really pushing some world-class stouts and East Coast IPAs, and we try to make pilsners and lagers as good as the Germans. Well, the Germans definitely have had it down, right? They got a little bit more of that experience there, and they've been driving that for a while. And it's funny, I've got a Paulaner Oktoberfest beer. So I went to the store this past weekend. They had a Paulaner 1 liter can of the Oktoberfest, which is also a lager. And you got a mug. It was like $9.99 for me to get it, so I had to pick that up. So I'm looking forward to trying that. But I love getting into some of the German beers. Evil Twin, fantastic, but very much so. Yeah, Evil Twin, I think they have a spot now also in New York where they got a physical location too. So, yeah, I love checking out their stuff. Now, hey, what's going on, Shane? It's been a while. Long time no see, right? How's it going, sir? Going good. How you been doing, my friend? Actually off today, so decided to kick up a little beer. If you guys don't know Shane, make sure you check out Shane. He does some great barbecue there on his channel as well with the grilling, and good guy. Dad says Cigar City just started distributing in my area, drinking a Guayabera Pale Ale. Delicious. I don't know if I've done that one from them yet, but I would tell you the Medora Brown Ale is a nice brown ale they actually do. The highlight I felt to me was one that was kind of overrated when I finally had it. A nice beer, but it's kind of just a little bit more dated, kind of in the IPA game right now, but still pretty solid. But their Florida Man double IPA I really enjoyed from Cigar City, and definitely recommend if you want to do a double IPA to check out the Florida Man. Dad says, Shane, have I tried Weissenfahner? I've done a good amount of Weissenfahner beers over the years. It's funny, here in where I'm at in the Cincinnati area, we have the biggest Oktoberfest outside of Munich, although neither one happened this year with the whole Corona thing. And so they actually come over here to serve beers and stuff. So when they come over, it's like I go right to the Weissenfeiner stand, don't even go to the American beers. They do some great stuff. So I always enjoy when I can get some of their things. I think here on the channel as well, I have some reviews with some of the Weissenfeiner beers too. Moose Scout says, skinny, LOL, to your name. Yeah. You never trust a skinny chef. I've always heard that. Like, you never want to trust anyone that's skinny that's a chef, right? Hey, Vanessa, what is going on? Cheers, Vanessa. Hopefully you're doing well. Good to see you. And the one I'm drinking right now, Vanessa, you would actually probably enjoy this one too because you're a big Stout fan. So this is the Bell's Vanilla Black Note Stout. So this was the 2019 version that I had in the cellar. I would definitely recommend for you to try if you happen to see it there because it is a good stout to take a look at. Vanessa loves her stouts. She's usually a Dragon's Milk person. And the Guinness Foreign Extra Stout, which if you ever have the Guinness Foreign Extra Stout, you might not want to go back to the regular Guinness after that. You get spoiled real easily on the Foreign Extra Stout. It is just that smooth of a beer. Yeah, Cigar City makes incredible beer. Like I said, it wasn't like the highlight that I had was bad. It's just in comparison to all the other beers I've had, it kind of, you know, I always compared it to like the Newcastle Brown Ale. The Newcastle Brown Ale, when you look at it versus other brown ales now, isn't a great one, but at the same point, it was good for when it came out, and it was the thing that started a lot of people using brown ales. I just feel like time caught up with the highlight a little bit. I think it's still a nice classic rendition. It's just there's other things I would prefer to enjoy besides that one. Moose Scout says hello to Vanessa Kitty again, and Shane says that incredible hello. Never trust Skinny Chef. Hello, Moose Scout. How's it going? And Dad's, I'll keep an eye out for Florida Man. Yeah, Florida Man I thought was really good. Skinny, not bad, mostly relaxing. Sounds yummy, right? Yeah, it is definitely a yummy beer. And we just got back from Ohio. LOL was in Portsmouth for a fly-in. Flew for a few days. They're so pretty. Yeah. So did you end up picking up any beers or trying any beers while you were there, Shane, and all? We have so many good beers around Ohio. I'm not sure in this Portsmouth area what they may have had, but there's a lot that we have around this state. Very true. I buy the Foreign Extra Stout over any other Guinness now. Right. So once you can get the Foreign Extra Stout, you don't even look at the other Guinness for the most part. It's just, it spoils you that quickly. So I need to actually get some more of that just to have because it is so tasty. Listen, hello to Muse. Are the pastry stouts very sugary? That's a good question. Now with beers, you'll put sugar content. A lot of brewers will use sugar content to kick up the ABV but not lose some of the flavors. So I would say if there's a style that can have that, you can have that in some of the pastry stouts where you get that extra sweetness that kind of comes through. I don't know the sugar content though, but it's kind of funny because a lot of people will drink the pastry stouts, and one of the things that people joke about, like in the brewing groups are, you know, it's almost like they have like a thing where it's Wilford Brimley, you know, he used to do the old diabetes commercials, like they're afraid, like they're drinking a beer and they'll say, oh my God, Wilford Brimley's going to show up or something like that. So there is a concern about the sweetness in there, so sugary could be a part of it. So you may want to balance out some of the stouts in, maybe drinking something more of a lager. It's like a Pilsner or something like that, where maybe less sugary type content, if that's a concern as well, to kind of keep the sugar levels down. But I don't know what the full sugar level is. That's something I should investigate one time on some of these beers to see how much sugar does come into play as far as health concerns. Have I tried to smoke beers? Smoked German called Rausch beer, very special. They're primarily located in Bamberg, Germany. And yeah, I've had Rausch beers. Rausch beers is a style I actually do enjoy. There was one that I had, I can't remember the name offhand, but the label was green and yellow. Most people know it. And very good one. And I love the idea of the smoked beers. As you actually sit there and you enjoy them, you get that smokiness in there. A lot of times reminiscent for me, like something you'd be having around a campfire, or having something like that with some sausage or something along those lines that was grilled. Perfect matchup. So I'm a big fan of Rausch beer. I wish more breweries did Rausch beers because they are a great style. I'm not sure all the intricacy that goes into making those, and maybe some breweries don't because it might be a little bit more involved, but if I get a good Rausch beer, I'm always on board. Dad said, all right, got to go start on dinner. Cheers, everyone. Have a good one, right? Yeah, cheers, Dad. Thanks for swinging by, my friend. Good to see you as always. And I think I'm going to come back here probably a little after 7 o'clock Eastern. And I'm going to try to do like a live panel. See who wants to join. I know Blake is down to join. So if anybody else wants to try to join, we're going to come back and maybe kick it for a bit, have a few beers. And I want to try to do some more panel type stuff to have maybe like a happy hour show or something like that a few times a week. So we'll see how that actually breaks out. Let's see. Vanessa making frame saws this week. I'm searching for stainless steel barrel nuts. Oh, wow. Now, if you don't know Vanessa's always making something. I mean, it's like we always joke around, like if things ever go bad in the world, all we got to do is make it to Vanessa's house, and Vanessa will know what to do to get us through to the next thing. That's how good she actually does on stuff. So Vanessa is always awesome. Bumpy Road Brewery in the house. What is going on, Bumpy? Cheers, my friend. Good to see you. Hopefully you're having a great Tuesday. And if you guys don't know Bumpy Road Brewery, he actually does beer reviews as well. He's actually the leader now on What the ABV. Well, he's been the leader for a bit of time over on What the ABV that we play on Beer Tugs channel Wednesday nights. But Bumpy has a great little channel there as well, where he's talking about a lot of beer. So if you don't know Bumpy, make sure to check him out too. Will says, subjectivity, I have a hard time with too much lactose in pastry stouts. I need the bitterness. Yeah, and that's the thing. Some of them can be done with too much sweetness, that you let them sit for a bit to become too syrupy, so to speak. So yeah, they got to be done right. This one that I had a little touch of that on the back of the coffee type bitterness in there as well, so it really balanced nicely into the beer. But I hear what you're saying there, Will, and can definitely agree for sure. Is the vanilla stout very sugary? It doesn't list anything along with the sugar, but I would say that sweetness is there to make me think that the sugar content could be something to maybe be of a concern if you're trying to, I guess, avoid having too much of a sugar in a beer. So this one might be a little bit more along those lines versus if you were to get something like a regular, just a base stout or something along those lines. It's definitely kicked up a little bit more. So you've also got the things in here to make it a little bit more sweeter and creamier. So I'm not sure if they use like any of the lactose type sugar as well. So that could be a part of it too. Yeah, that's one thing we haven't gotten really around to is sugar content on beer. Putting that on the label for people. As long as it has the date and the ABV, that's all I'm really looking for in the style. That's always good. How about the sugar level in pastry stouts? I don't know how much of the sugar level would actually go into a lot of the pastry stouts, but compared to other stouts, I would say the sugar level is probably increased to get some of that sweetness in play. That's a question I need to ask one of my guys that I know that works in the brewery to see how they actually measure that out. That's actually a good question, Moose. I may have to reach out to a few of them. I'm actually located here in the States in it's Kentucky, but it's part of the Cincinnati area, so we're right on the border of Cincinnati is where I'm actually at. Dragon's Milk Stout has a nice back end. It's not overly sugary. Like it a lot. Kegerators on patios to have their kegs. Nice. Yeah, the Dragon's Milk Stout isn't too sugary compared to this one. I would say this one is a little bit more sugary than what that is as far as the taste that I'm actually getting out of it. So, but the Dragon's Milk Stout is a nice, decent one to actually enjoy. And I'm going to be doing the Solera. I don't know if you saw that, Vanessa, but I picked up the Solera versions of the Dragon Milk Stout last weekend, so I'll have those upcoming at a point. Hey, what's going on, Malt Muser? Cheers, my friend. Good to see you, my friend, and hopefully you're having a great Tuesday. If you guys don't know Malt Muser whiskey reviews, make sure to check Malt out, especially if you're looking to find out some more stuff about whiskey. Love the whiskey guys. They're always dropping good knowledge. I'm in Kentucky. It's the bourbon state. I should know more about whiskey, so I look to these guys to see what they're usually talking about, so I get a better understanding of whiskey as well. Pairing pies with pastry stouts, I wonder what would go well with them. Well, with the pastry stouts, depending on what you got, I would actually look at pairing more like the cake. Like if you're doing like a fudge cake, some type of triple layer type thing, or if you're doing something heavy in chocolate, like the I forgot what the one dessert is, like in a little bit of a cup that you can do. Things along those lines. You could do it maybe like a peanut butter pie if you've got like a stout, a peanut butter stout, like a peanut butter pie, like those Reese's peanut butter pies. That might be a good one to team up with. Or you can just have the stout as dessert by itself. Hey, what's going on, Daryl? Thank you for catching us. I appreciate that, my friend. Hopefully you catch us some more. Hit that subscribe button. That way you can see the stuff when I go live. I'll be coming back later in a few hours with another live stream with the panel as well. But yeah, here I just talk about beers for the most part. We get into other things like on the live stream, having good conversation. But if you like beer, this is the place to be, Daryl. Appreciate you being here. And also, cheers from California. Awesome, awesome. We got a couple, friends out there in California as well. So hopefully you're having a great Tuesday, and hopefully you're safe out there with the fires that are taking place. I'm not sure, obviously, which part you're in, but I know it's been crazy out there. Vanessa said found a very nice blueberry muffins recipe. Well, there you go. There are some blueberry stouts, Vanessa. Sagatock Brewing has a blueberry stout. Maybe you can pair that up with the blueberry muffin. That could work. Moose Gal said my blood glucose level spiked. Not sure I can drink these stouts. Yeah, so you definitely got to be careful of that stuff as well. And so again, there's so many different styles out there. You may not want to do the stout if there's a concern along those lines, but there's other ones that you can definitely enjoy as well that might actually be a little bit better there. There's a homebrew app that will calculate the calories of your beer based off OG and FG. Yeah, I know there's some out there for that. There's actually a formula that I found one time to get an estimate of calories as well. So I kind of use that if I want to measure. I used to do the My Fitness Tracker. I need to go back and do the My Fitness Tracker and get some more workouts in. But I was able to estimate calories for the different beers I was actually trying. Moss says, hey, Vanessa, I should make cream puffs and eclairs and post the pics. I'm not going to stop you. I would check it out. If you guys don't know Vanessa on Instagram, it's Vanessa M. Kitty on Instagram. And she does a lot of great stuff there. So make sure you check her out there if you're on Instagram as well. Let's see. Daryl says, subscribe. Vanessa says, hi, Muser as well. You actually sound very experienced and chill compared to a lot of other beer streamers. Like it, subscribe. Well, thanks, Will. I appreciate that. It's beer. It should be fun. It should be, if you want to learn about it, a nice learning experience. The one thing I've always said about the channel and the way I try to position everything here is actually helping people learn about beer, but doing it in a fun, entertaining way. So hopefully I'm bringing that to you guys, and that's how it should be. Some people get too deep into it. Some people get a little crazy about it. It's beer. It's meant to be enjoyed. Let's just keep it that level, right? Daryl said, very smoky. Oh, wow. Well, stay safe, my friend. I saw where they had to get some people out in like one of the areas around the lake, and the people had to go in the lake to get away from the fire, and then they had to helicopter them out of that lake area. So the way the winds and everything shift out there, make sure you're safe, and hopefully you and your family, your friends, if anything does happen, you guys are able to get out there all in one piece for sure. Hey, Sadek, what is going on? Cheers, my friend. Said, cheers, RJ. Sorry, late to the game. Was that one of the 2019 vintage? I still have a couple of that. Yes. This was actually the 2019. There you go, Sadek. Vanilla Black Note Stout. My camera, sometimes it wants to work, sometimes it doesn't. So, but this was 2019. So last year, done in November. You're going to enjoy those, Sadek. I'm telling you, very solid. For me, on Untapped, I'm giving it a 4.5 out of 5. Really liked it. But again, Bell's does so many different good beers out of what they're doing. But this one definitely worked. Lucia, now the fall is here. Is anyone into drinking hard cider? I tried Angry Orchard, not for me. I don't drink a lot of the ciders, but I will tell you this, Moose. If you want a cider, the cider that I found to be the best, the one I like the most as of right now, has been the ones that they do out of Michigan from Blake's Hard Cider. They make different ciders out of there. Much better than Angry Orchard. I've had Angry Orchard in the past. I would say check them out if you happen to see Blake's Hard Cider. They have some very tasty ones. Thing about cider, it is gluten-free. So for people looking to avoid having any gluten issues, you can do that with the cider. So I would definitely say check those out. And there's also a tea beer that are being made. We have a place here in Ohio that does tea beer, and with tea beers, those are also gluten-free as well. Let's see, Vanessa says I will hunt down the blueberry. Yeah, look for it's Sagatock Brewing. They have a blueberry stout. I haven't had it yet, but I know some people that have and have liked it, and maybe you can pair that with the blueberry muffins. Vanessa, I just heard my friend has an oak barrel for his cider making in the cellar. This is a full barrel. Nice. It's pumpkin stout. I'm not there. I'm not there yet, Bumpy, for the pumpkins. I haven't done any pumpkins at all, but if you do a pumpkin stout, Warlock is still my favorite that I've had as a pumpkin stout goes. As far as pumpkin beers, Warlock, Pumpkin is good. The Dogfish, their pumpkin ale is good. There were a few others I've had out there that I've kind of done over the years, but I almost feel a burnout when I have pumpkin. And it's so early in the year right now for pumpkin, too. I mean, it's freaking just September. I'm still getting my Oktoberfest beers in. Why am I going to jump into pumpkin? I'm still trying to do Oktoberfest right now. And y'all want me to jump to pumpkin already? Too early. The beers you speak of have been awesome. Tasting thus far, I still have not tried the sours. Yeah, in the sours, if you like some of the sours, you gotta have that. You gotta have that palate ready for the sour, because there are some that can definitely, if you catch them and they're overly tart too early, you may get burnt out or you may not like it. But I'm telling you, there's some great sours being done. Lambics, one of the styles I really enjoy from coming from overseas. That style is actually pretty solid. There's some great beers there, but one that I want to get, and I haven't been able to get down here yet. I know my buddy Joe from the Beer Patrol, he's had it, has been a Warheads, I believe. I know Kyle from No Hype Beer Reviews, another good friend, he's actually had it. So I want to get some of those Warhead beers if I can at some point to see how they actually taste. And actually, Vanessa, you may be up there closer since you're in the Northeast where you see the Warhead beers. Oh, you're welcome, Daryl. You're welcome. I wonder if there are sugar-free beers on the market. I don't know if there's anything. I don't know if anybody's ever looked at a sugar-free type beer, because sugar is an integral component of making a beer. So what I would say, you might look at the cider or you might look at the tea beers. And what the reason I bring it up is with sugar, breweries can use sugar to kick up the ABV without losing any of the flavor and stuff they want to have for the beer. So that's why it's hard to have a sugar-free beer. Vanessa got no to pies, Vanessa Kitty. Yes, pumpkin everything. Every have a butternut squash pie. I have not. A great pumpkin pie. Switch over. It tastes just like pumpkin. Interesting. What's up, Thrash? Cheers, my friend. Thrash is in the house. Another great channel. If you guys haven't checked out Brian there, Thrash Metal Homebrew and Barbecue. He actually does home brewing. And if you want to find out more about the intricacy of beer, because I don't brew beer like I did a few times years ago. Thrash actually has brew days on his channel, so he's always brewing beer. And Bumpy the same way. Bumpy does brewing of beer, so make sure you check those guys out as well. Tried the 1991 Black Cherry Cider, not all tasty to me. It's all a matter of how you palate. Now I've had some ciders I've enjoyed, and I've had some I haven't. Like I said, Blake's cider out of Michigan I really enjoy more than anybody else's. Same thing with seltzer. I'm not a huge fan of the seltzers that are taking over the country, it seems. But I've had a few, especially like one of our local places here, Braxton. They had a couple good seltzers rather. But for me, it's not something I actually look out as much to check that one out. Sedexa did enjoy that one, although I much prefer the BA Expedition Stout, although we never got the 2020 vintage here. Yeah, the Expedition Stout was really solid. I think I did the 2020 here on the channel, but you know what? For me, it's like neck and neck, but this one I really do enjoy. I think the Expedition might have been like a 4.5 for me as well. So they're both right there. I mean, it's kind of like just flip a coin, and I'm happy with either one. Thrash says, cheers all. Vanessa, I could make meat pies. Not all pies are fruits. True that. Yeti Stout hits. Hey, what's going on, Unadapted? Cheers, my friend. Good to see you. Yeah, so the Yeti Stouts I do like as well. They are pretty tasty. And Boonog, Vanessa says, I guess on a Halloween play for eggnog. I usually skip pumpkin beers and dive straight in October. Yeah, I mean, at this time, Sadek, it's like I'm still getting to the Oktoberfest beers, and it's a little too early to get into the pumpkin beers in my mind. So that's more of an October type thing for me. But everybody's trying to get them out to market now. So good thing if you get something like a Warlock or some of these higher ABV pumpkin beers, you can store those and not have to worry about drinking them right now as well. Must find a new source for duck eggs. Oh, no more duck eggs from the llama farm, man. You like roast beer and lambics? I'll have to ask, what is your worst style of beer? Well, Will, for me, the worst style of beer that I actually don't like, and most of the people know on the channel, is shandies. I'm not a huge shandy fan. I've tried different shandies. They've never really won me over. Funny thing is, I can enjoy a rattler, but the shandy right now is probably the worst style of any beer for me. In fact, one of our breweries here, Kugel, they do their summer shandy, which people love in the States. I actually had a drain pour at a bar I was at. I wanted the glass, and I can only do like a quarter of it. I said, go in and pour it out and just give me the glass and stuff. So, you know, I even tried to have them put a different beer in the glass because I knew I wasn't a fan of shandy, but I had to at least have it filled up to get the glass. So, but that's the style. No hesitation. I hate the worst. We'll look at Warhead beers. Yeah, it's I can't remember who makes the Warhead ones, but if you Google Warhead beers, it'll probably pull up. Bumpy said, true, I won't get pumpkin until mid-October. They go well up into the Great Thanksgiving Feast. Yeah, into the Great Thanksgiving Feast. You can pair that very easily there with the turkey and the different stuff that you're having, so it can definitely work. Will said, just popped the Apex Asmodeus Double IPA from Sweden. Absolute maniac. Nice. Very nice. So, yeah, I would love to get some more beers to try from that part of the country, part of the world. I say country, part of the world as well. But McKellar's my driving one that I get a lot of times, like out of the Denmark area. And I try to get some more of the international beers. I have a couple spots that do well for international beers coming in, but always on the lookout for some good beers from overseas. My buddies there in England, the UK, they always talk about Cloudwater Brew, and I have not been able to find that over here. That's like one I want to try because they always talk about good things about the beers they're putting out. So we do have Brewdog. So they came over here. It's funny, Brewdog put their first brewery 2 hours from me in Columbus, Ohio, and then they put their second brewery 15 minutes from me in Cincinnati, Ohio. I feel like they were giving me a sign like, well, if you're not going to drive here, we'll put it here. Now you got to drive over and try our beer. So we had the Corona stuff that broke out, so I haven't been there yet, except I picked up their version of the Blackest Beautiful beers, which I'll be sharing on the channel. But I do want to do some video from their Brewdog place they have here in Cincinnati, as well as some of the other breweries around here. We have like 60-something breweries here, so I'm going to try to get some more videos once things calm down a little bit more. But what I'm going to do is try to get some more streams going with some of the guys as well. I'm going to reach out to some of the people I know so I can get them on here, kind of get you some updates from some of the breweries. The last one I did was my friend Eric. He's with Lord Hobo Brewing up there out of the Boston area. So I'm going to see if I can get him back on and talk about stuff they're doing there at Lord Hobo. And then if I can get some of these other brewery guys on, I'm going to start bringing that to you guys more on the channel. So be on the lookout for that. And that's always a fun conversation and gives you a chance to ask questions of the actual people brewing the beer. So that's something I plan to try to get worked on this week and then go from there. But I am going to jump off now because the wife said dinner is done and I'm going to go get me something to eat. But again, I'm going to come back here tonight. I'm going to say probably after 7 Eastern. And I'm going to look to maybe put up a live stream and get some other guys to panel up. I know Blake is down from Blake TV, and if anybody else wants to look to join, come on, have a few drinks, talk some stuff, whatever. We'll talk some beer, we'll talk whatever. If you want to come on and talk whiskey, we talk whiskey, we'll talk food, we'll do whatever we can do, and hopefully you guys can come back at that point and join us and see if we can get you guys entertained here a little bit on Tuesday night. But that being said, thanks for all you that jumped in. Thanks for all you new that just joined the channel. Appreciate you there, and hopefully you guys will enjoy some of the videos and have some fun. Always comment, remember to like, subscribe, all those good things, and I look forward to sharing more things with you guys here going forward. Cheers, and I look forward to talking